Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of the India Development Debate. I'm Supriya Shrinate, and on this Friday evening, we're really going to put the spotlight to where it belongs, Indian politics, and the big event that's happening in Lucknow tomorrow. The final countdown has begun, addressing a key strategy meet. Amit Shah today made it amply clear that the party's campaign will center around Modi and Modi alone. Abki Baar, Phir Modi Sarkar is likely to be the campaign theme, although Shah has dropped enough hints that Ayodhya will also be kept as a backup slogan in case the Modi wave fails to make enough ripples. On the other side, Mahagathbandhan remains quite a flutter-breaking event as far as Mayawati and Akhilesh Yadav are concerned. They refuse to play a second fiddle to Rahul Gandhi. They're likely to announce this official alliance in a joint press conference in Lucknow tomorrow. This is going to be a formal tie-up minus the Congress. Regional satraps like Mamata are sure to play the hardball as well. What is really happening as far as elections 2019 are concerned on both ends of the political spectrum? With no wave seen just yet, the battle clearly is wide open. On a very special edition of the India Development Debate, we take a look at situation ground zero, and we're going to put the spotlights to where it really belongs this evening, Uttar Pradesh. I've been joined by a very special panel right here. Anila Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, Nasir Hussain, spokesperson of the Congress, Vita Prakash, editor, News ANI, and Rashid Kidwai, political commentator. Thank you very much, each one of you, for joining us. And let me really begin with Anila Singh. She not just represents the BJP, she's also from UP, understands ground realities there. Ms. Singh, the Mahagathbandhan in Uttar Pradesh, that's all likely to be announced tomorrow in this official press conference, coming together of Mayawati and Akhilesh Yadav, joint conference that has been slotted at noon tomorrow, can possibly change the course of Indian polity. I mean, you know, for a very long time, it has been said that the road to New Delhi is road to Lucknow. The tie-up between the two, it could change dynamics within the state, a state that sends 80 MPs to the Lok Sabha, a state where you have 73 members of parliament. How worried is the BJP about the Bua-Bhatija tie-up? And you can't get away by saying you're not worried at all. Because if you look at real numbers, you look at real arithmetic, your seats could actually crash down to anything under 30.
Supriya, we have never ever used a word that we are not worrisome. Worrisome, we have not used the word, because even the national president of our party, he said that yes, in Uttar Pradesh, if SP-BSP they come together, it is going to be challenge. It is going to be huge challenge. Huge challenge because we very well know that Samajwadi Party and BSP, they are two big political players. But at the same time, we know it very well that in previous elections, if you talk about 2014 or 2017, these political parties, like in 2017, SAPA and Congress, they had come together, but SP-BSP didn't come together in 14 and in 17. Separately, they had a respectable vote percentage, but we very well know if these two political powers are going to come together, this is going to be a Waterloo for them, because the voters of Samajwadi Party and BSP and in Western Uttar Pradesh RLD, they cannot stand each other. They are natural opponents, and natural opponents politically leaders, they can come together because they see their politics of opportunism. But the voter, common voter, he doesn't have to sit on any minister chair or the chief minister chair or the prime minister chair. He votes because somehow he follows an ideology. Ideologically, Samajwadi Party, BSP and RLD, they are totally different. So we very well know.
Anila Singh, I'm going to come in there. Okay, I'm going to come in there because let's not, as politicians, talk about political opportunities. Whether it is the Assam Gana Parishad that you were part of in Assam, whether it was PDP in JNK, you know, let's not talk about political opportunism, because there is enough political opportunism on either side of the political spectrum. There are no holy cows, quote unquote, all pun intended here. But let me take this across to Nasir Hussain before I go across to the experts on my show. And Nasir, fighting alone, the Congress may actually end up cutting into the Muslim votes, which may help the BJP, and that could be counterproductive. There may be a division of votes in at least 50 constituencies, according to data that, you know, has been analyzed. Did you fail in convincing Akhilesh and Mayawati? Are you still not over with your legacy issues? I mean, what went wrong there? What is the harm in just contesting 2 seats? And you know, I think the bigger question that one wants to ask is that was it a conscious attempt to then keep out? Because you were not going to get more than 2 seats.
See, let us first understand that every election is a new election, whether it is an assembly election or election at the center. And every election is a new opportunity for forces to align among themselves. So what we are looking in this country now broadly is that there are two camps. One which does the left of center politics in this country, which subscribes to the theory of liberal culture, liberalism, working for the poor, for existence for everyone, so on and so forth. And then the other thing which is mainly communal, casteist, capitalist, and so on and so forth. Now, there are formulations at various places. We have seen Mr. Chandrasekhar Rao from Telangana speaking about the third front. We have seen BSP and SP trying to come together and trying to form another unit in Uttar Pradesh. These are all at the negotiating levels. These are all at the discussion level. Come 2019 Parliament election, I think picture will be more clear who is on which side. And we do feel that Congress as a party, as an individual entity, has done very well in 2004, has done very well in 2009 election, and of course we are not done in 2014. So I think it is not that you just can't write off Congress party. It is a small player, but it is a very good player in that area also.
I am not trying to write you off. I asked you a direct question. Are you not going to cut into the votes of, the Mahagathbandhan and in turn actually advantage the BJP? But let me take this across to the experts, and Rashid, coming to you. Did Congress really have an option in Uttar Pradesh, or was it a pragmatic move or a strategic move, if some may say, to stay out, given the fact that the only opposition party with a national presence can't be restricted to just 2 seats in a state that represents 1/6 of India?
Precisely. I mean, other than this optics, there was also simple matter of arithmetic, because the Congress came second in 6 places, and all the 6 places, the average, the difference between the winner and loser was over 3 lakh votes. Now, this is a huge, huge numbers. So, Congress would not have gained anything by getting into this alliance. First of all, in terms of numbers, seat share, the Congress would not have got any space at all, and the electoral arithmetic is such that Congress is better off by not being part of this alliance. This broadly speaking, in the in the 2019, the Congress and the regional parties, they have worked out an informal strategy. The strategy is very simple, that wherever Congress is in direct contest with the BJP in states like Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Punjab or Himachal or several other states, it will take on the BJP. And where the regional parties are fighting with the BJP, the Congress will stay out and let regional players take them on. And in the final analysis in May 2019, then they'll see what are the numbers like. So that is the overall strategy where the UP, arithmetic is being worked out.
Okay, fair point. Just give me a minute. I'll go across to Smita Prakash and then come back to this. Rashid Kidwai believes this is a strategic sort of a move that the Congress has done. Smita, let's really talk pure numbers. And for the benefit of our viewers here, let's bring up the vote share of all these parties. In 2014, when the BJP won 73 seats, and that was a stunning victory for the Bharatiya Janata Party in Uttar Pradesh, it had over 42%, I think 42.6% vote share. The SP had 22.3% vote share, down from 23.3% of 2009. BSP was under 20. It was at 19.8% vote share, which was down from 27.4% in 2009. The Congress vote share crumbled to 7.5%, versus 18.3 in 2009, when it actually ended up winning 21 Lok Sabha seats. And which is why I say the arithmetic, if you allow me, the SP-BSP arithmetic should be a reason for the BJP to worry.
Supriya, if I was to take Rashid's thought forward, because I mean, he's a very astute political commentator, and if he says that there's some kind of a tacit understanding where the Congress is going to leave the space for the regional parties to fight the BJP where it is weak, in that case, is it leaving really Uttar Pradesh, the most important state for it politically and for all parties politically, because as you said in the introduction, the road to Delhi is via Uttar Pradesh. So if it's going to leave Uttar Pradesh to the Samajwadi Party and the BSP to fight and just keep Rai Bareli and Amethi, as Akhilesh said that they are not going to be fighting in Rai Bareli and Amethi, this is what the Congress has been reduced to. Just 2 constituencies in Uttar Pradesh. Their pride, you know, I mean, if you go to see whether it was Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, all of them, and Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, they've all fought elections and won from Uttar Pradesh. And today, the Congress has tacitly actually been reduced to just Amethi and Rai Bareli. And if they are not part of this mini Gathbandhan, it's not a Mahagathbandhan, it's not even a Gathbandhan, it's a mini Gathbandhan. So if they're not even going to be part of this, there's a kind of a realistic understanding that they have been reduced to absolutely nothing, even though they actually have about 7 to 8% of the vote share in Uttar Pradesh. Supposedly that's what they have right now, is 7 to 8%. But that doesn't translate into seats. The votes don't translate into seats. So there's a kind of a pragmatic understanding, if this is what, I mean, if I was to take Rashid's argument forward, that they will give it up to this so-called secular vote. I refuse to believe that it's a secular vote, because what one has seen in Karnataka and the 4 other elections which have taken place right now is competitive Hindutva between
Right.
BJP and the Congress party. There is no secular vote as such that the Congress is going for.
No, just give me a minute, because I will quickly go back to Rashid and then go across to the politicians on the show. And Rashid, I think one of the questions that one may want to ask is that when you see alliances like these, of course, bypolls are different, whether it was Kairana or whether it was Gorakhpur and Phulpur where the BJP was defeated. But if you actually look at elections and if you actually look at how things happen, poll arithmetic also depends on chemistry. And it's not as if it's automatically, you know, vote of one gets translated into the vote of another. The transfer isn't so natural. What role do you believe disgruntled elements could end up playing even now? Because there will be rival factions, you know, 80 Lok Sabha constituencies, 37 divided between the 37 each for the 2 of them and 4 for RLD, 2 left for the Congress. What role can party poopers continue to play?
Supriya, I think a UP situation, we need to look back at, 93 assembly election, which had happened because the Uttar Pradesh Kalyan Singh government, BJP government was dismissed on account of Babri Masjid demolition. The BJP was extremely belligerent. There was a whole euphoria was also there that in Uttar Pradesh they will come up in a big way. And at that point of time, Mulayam Singh and Kashi Ram, SP-BSP had come together and they won. So they have a very strong proven track record. If the 2 parties come together, then definitely the BJP stands, very little chance of, repeating its 2014 situation. That's a one big factor. I think you see the regional, parties in the smaller groups, spoilers and all have in Lok Sabha elections. I don't think they stand a chance. If there is a big rebel candidate, then perhaps that person can win it, but that would be an exception rather than the rule.
No, fair point. Just hold the thoughts, experts, and I'll go across to Smita in just a bit. But Anila Singh, I really want to ask you, you obviously don't have the firepower that you once did in 2014. In 2019, you don't have the same firepower. How much of an election issue is the quota, 10% quota going to be? Because like a Madhya Pradesh, like a Chhattisgarh, is this also a strategy to consolidate the upper caste votes that were beginning to get disenchanted?
Supriya, these days this question is a very natural question asked by media to Bharatiya Janata Party. To start with, Supriya, let me tell you one thing. In 1989, you remember, like everybody came together to fight against anti-Congressism force, and to defeat Congress. But this time in 2019, it is not even against BJP, it is against Narendra Modi ji. So that type of phobia opposition is suffering from. Now, cut to, let's come back to 10% reservation given to the general category, people who are deprived. So definitely, I am going to say that Narendra Modi ji has stamped once again that he works for everybody. Sabka saath, sabka vikas. He works for each and every person living in any strata of the society, belonging to any religion, belonging to any caste. So he has proved again, and that is the biggest problem with the opposition. They know it very well. They are rattled that Narendra Modi ji has again proved that he is with all people. So definitely this phobia from which opposition is suffering from, and they have come together, but this is not going to be proved as a game changer. As I always say, again I am going to repeat that this is going to be Waterloo for them, the alliance, whether in Uttar Pradesh or in Bihar or elsewhere. So we very well know that if we talk about the Congress, just see in Bihar how they are being treated. If we talk about the Karnataka, how JDS treats them. So in different states, and I mean, if you just see Madhya Pradesh, where BSP and SP, they have got one seat, and Mayawati ji is really threatening Congress there.
Okay. Okay, no, Anila Singh, let's talk about ally management on another show, another day. Because it's not as if your allies are hunky-dory either. There is enough trouble in your paradise as well as far as allies are concerned. So let's not disobey the other side. Nasir, before I go back to Smita Prakash on a, on a bigger question, the fact that there could be upper caste consolidation due to this 10% quota is one part of the story. The other part of the story also is that this could lead to a reverse consolidation. There's already fear in the minds of, SC, STs, backward classes, that reservations are being tampered with. And which is why one believes that given how potent that combination can be, the Jats in Western UP, the Muslims, the Dalits, where is the place for the Congress party? Because that consolidation is more natural and is likely to happen.
See, I think, Supriya, before we take up this question of quota, I think I need to respond to what Smita Prakash was mentioning earlier, that she doesn't look at this kind of formulation, but she looks at it in the 4 elections the way it was, like she was comparing that it's a competitive Hindutva. But I think I personally believe, and my party also believes, there is nothing called soft Hindutva or hard Hindutva. There is either Hindutva and there is Hinduism. And what we believe is, what we say is, one can be a Hindu, one can be a Muslim, one can be a Christian. Not one subscribes to the theory of Hindutva, or somebody becomes an Islamist, or somebody becomes a hardcore fundamentalist Christian. We don't believe in those things. I think if she was mentioning about Mr. Rahul Gandhi visiting temples, all those things, Janvadhari and all those things that were there in the news during the election, I think I don't know why they are so scared about Mr. Rahul Gandhi having his own religious identity.
Where are you taking this?
I think that which scares the BJP and the BJP supporters too much. And then, she mentioned that. That's why I wanted to comment on that.
Nasir, why are you going into that debate? No.
Yeah. So
I think, can I just come in for a minute? I want to come in for a minute because I see this happen on television very often. Let me just please come in. Nasir, let me just come in. I see this happen on television very often, and I think it's beginning to sicken me. Don't go after experts. Don't start attacking experts. You should take on each other. I think the Congress and the BJP, even if you come to blows, I understand that. But don't take on experts, because experts are here to give their objective view, which is why we call them with you. So that there is some amount of objectivity, some amount of neutrality to the debate. But anyways, make your point, because I want to move on to another point.
Hold on.
I see that happen on Indian national television. I don't like it.
No, hold on. Yeah. Supriya, whether you like it or not, in a television debate, every panelist has a right to rebut what the other panelists say. Whether you believe it or not, whether you want
Sure
to like
enough,
it or
don't
not,
go after them.
everyone
All
has
I'm
their
trying
right.
to-
I think I wanted to correct her there. I
All
draw a
I'm
point.
saying is-
And yeah, I'm coming to your point. I'm
Okay.
coming to your point.
Very quickly, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Very quickly, please, because I want to move on. Okay, give me a minute. I'll come to you, Smita Prakash, and I think, you know, apart from whatever is happening, will Uttar Pradesh vote for the Prime Minister, or is this going to be a ballot that will cast on the performance of Yogi Adityanath? There is a lot that has been written and said about whether he has antagonized the voters. BJP doesn't have the same firepower. There is ally trouble with the Apna Dal, the other, you know, the mother faction, Krishna Raj Patel faction could be wooed on the other side. The question really is, will Uttar Pradesh vote for Narendra Modi, or will it cast a ballot for Yogi Adityanath?
You know, Uttar Pradesh, like Tamil Nadu, you know, is very confusing when it comes to how they vote for the center and how they vote for the state, including Karnataka. I think it's the voter is, you know, it's not quite clear and cut out like, say, Rajasthan, where you know that, you know, everybody knew that Sachin Pilot and Gehlot are going to sweep this place. It didn't occur as a sweep, but they had a decisive victory. Everybody knew about that, but everybody also knows that, you know, what the slogan out there that people were saying is that, you know, they have got nothing against Modi, but they don't want Vasundhara and they don't want the BJP in the state because they felt let down by the state government. Whereas in Uttar Pradesh, it's going to be also regarding Yogi and his track record. You can't set that aside. You know, there are many people who feel totally dejected by what Yogi Adityanath has done to the state. At the other time, there is also the Ayodhya factor. There are so many factors at play. It's such a large state, you know, and there are emotive factors also. Whether any, you know, I mean, if the BJP thinks it's only Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and there's going to be voting on that, it's not. If the caste factor will be at play, the religion factor will be at play, the competitive Hindutva, which I talked about, that will be at play. And most importantly, it's going to be Modi and an anti-Modi vote. You know, I think that is going to be a major factor. You know, anybody but Modi will be a slogan that will be raised in the coming months, where they're all going to turn around and say that, hey, here is one party that is going to take you down this path, and there is another party which is going to do your suraksha, that is going to look after you, and that is not going to be. So it's going to be BJP versus the other, even in Uttar Pradesh.
No, absolutely. And which is why it's important to raise the question about Indian economy. I thought I will deal with it later, but let me deal with it now. There is substantial agrarian mess. There is this whole talk about SOPs for agriculture, and there is joblessness. Rashid Kidwai, will India assess and vote for Mr. Modi in 2019 based on his economic performance, which hasn't been stellar, especially given the fact that he came with a stunning majority. He is the first Indian Prime Minister in economically liberalized India to have a full majority government, and yet the economic performance it hasn't been stellar. So will he be voted on that? Because very seldom, in fact never in economically liberalized India, have true reformist prime ministers been voted back to office.
Yeah, as Smita Prakash was saying, you see, the Indian voter is highly volatile. Nobody can predict what's going on in that mind. In the context of Uttar Pradesh, a concerted attempt was made. Mind you, Mr. Yogi Adityanath was not a chief ministerial candidate. He was nowhere in the picture when elections were contested. He's been, you know, made Uttar Pradesh chief minister with a certain objective. So whether Mr. Narendra Modi's, you know, the economic story, the success story would gel with Yogi Adityanath's profile, this is a big kind of gamble that the BJP has taken. Now, what happens when you talk about reservation, or, you know, that what happened in Karnataka, that, you know, Lingayats being offered a kind of, you know, separate religious identity, it has a potential to, you know, boomerang, or it has a potential not to work. It happened in Jat reservation in Haryana, Maratha reservation in Maharashtra, all kind of things have happened. In our country, elections are not driven by a singular issue. I think 2019 is going to be very different from 2019. Mr. Modi may get a mandate. In interview to Smita Prakash, when she asked about Mayawati, he said this is something that I would not like to respond on television. So he's also keeping his options open vis-a-vis Uttar Pradesh, vis-a-vis another kind of post-election Gathbandhan. Mind you, Sharad Pawar, Mayawati, these are all very worldly wise players. So there is all kind of possibilities are there.
No, absolutely. It's a plethora of possibilities that will come. And very quickly, I think I've completely run out of time here on this show. UP is going to be the big decisive factor. UP will decide who actually comes in okay, my director and my producers tell me I can go on for a little more time. Please stay with us, because I think one of the questions that we must ask Nasir Hussain is, and Nasir, in the past we've seen very, very seasoned people manage alliances. You know, from a Sonia Gandhi to a Harkishan Singh Surjit, you know, to even to even Manmohan Singh. I mean, you know, they kept the flock together. Does the new Mahagathbandhan that seems to be forming in different states and then finally come together as this grand coalition post-elections, can they manage egos? Can they set aside differences and come together? And who are the people who can shape and keep the flock together? Like Mrs. Gandhi perhaps once did.
Supriya, I think all the political parties, including the Congress and the BJP, does understand that it is an era of coalition politics in our country for the last 15-20 years. I think it will go on for another 10-15 years till somebody becomes more dominant in Indian politics. There are political parties which are essentially anti-Congress. Some parties are anti-BJP. Now, for them to form a third front, I think it's little difficult, especially in this polarized India. They will have to take a position either with the Congress party or with the BJP. Whether they take it before the election or they take it after the election is a different question now. I think this coalition will stay. As you said, like Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and earlier Harkishan Surjit and the other senior leaders just try to put up big shows by forming grand alliances. I think that is what the scene which we saw during the swearing-in ceremony of Mr. Kumaraswamy in Bangalore. Let us wait and watch for a few more days, because we have new alliance in JDS. We have new alliance partners in TDP. I think something is cooking up in Jammu and Kashmir. You can see the present NDA, which has lots of alliance partners in the last 4.5 years. Most of them have gone out of the alliance, are not happy with the alliance, or some of them are not happy with the alliance. You take for instance PDP in Jammu and Kashmir. Right. You take for instance Navin Patnaik speaking something else in Orissa, right. Shiv Sena being angry with BJP, TDP coming out of BJP, and Northeast because of this problem you have right. So many problems. So I think I
have already
in next few more weeks and more things will develop, and we have a
Can
grand
I comment
alliance.
on this?
Okay. No, yes, Smita Prakash, I'm just coming to you in a minute, but I think Anila Singh also wanted to make a... Yes, Smita Prakash, I'm just coming to you. Okay, go ahead, make a point, Smita Prakash, and then I'll go to Anila Singh.
Yeah, just a quick comment, you know, you spoke about Congress managing alliances in the past with Sonia and Harkishan Singh Surjit for the left parties. I think the Congress actually has more people managing alliances, and the BJP really doesn't have any. You know, they used to have a Jaswant Singh, they used to have a Yashwant Sinha, they used to have so many others, seasoned politicians, but this new lot which has come, I don't think they know how to reach out, because they were on such a high in 2014, so they were like a magnet which pulled in alliances. But now, after having lost so many elections in the past couple of months, they really don't have anybody seasoned to bring in alliance partners, you know, so they will have to learn a little bit of humility 2019 if they need to bring in more alliance partners. The Congress, on the other hand, because they started off so low, were able to get in Chandrababu Naidu or even a KCR to try and form alliances with them. So I think they are on a stronger wicket as far as pulling alliances are concerned as compared to the BJP.
No, I think that's also an important part of the discussion that I wanted to do with Anila Singh. And Anila Singh, while you were going on and on about the Congress and the seemingly likely bedfellows, SP and the BSP. What about the BJP? There is a lot of trouble in that paradise. You know, allies have shunned you. They are bargaining very hard. You've decided to give away you've decided to sacrifice 5 of your sitting MPs from Bihar. Anupriya Patel is bargaining very hard. There is too much that's happening in this coalition as well. I mean, you've got the Shiv Sena chief actually use Rahul Gandhi's language, Chaukidar Chor. I mean, how bad can it get? And there is, and to say that you treat your allies well is not going to mask the big concerns.
Supriya, I do not want to comment that what type of language our alliance partner use. But on the other hand, we very well know that we have got excellent strategists in as our national president Amit Shah ji. So we have got confidence in his strategies, and we have got a wonderful leader like Narendra Modi ji, who is heading our political party. So we have got 2 people who very well know that how to contest elections and how to win them as well. And the temporary euphoria which Congress is having by forming government in 3 states, it is not going to make much difference in 2019 national elections. People are definitely going to vote from different mindset. And just now, like we were talking about SP, BSP, TDP, AIA, DMK, other political parties who act as alliance partner, or I can say younger alliance partner with the national parties. So if you talk about Samajwadi Party and BSP,
right,
from the national perspective, their vote share nationally is 3.9 and 4.4. Similarly, if you talk about the TDP has a very small percentage, 3 point something, if you talk from the national perspective. So, I mean, 2019 national elections will be a totally ball game altogether, and people are going to vote for a prime minister who gives us stability to them, and definitely a pride to nation in the eyes of the world.
So that's the big question. Will Uttar Pradesh, that is seeing coming together of what really is index of opposition unity, the SP and the BSP, you've tasted success, they've tasted success in UP in the by-elections of Phulpur and Gorakhpur. Will the coming together of the seemingly unlikely political allies, in fact political foes if I may, change the arithmetic, change the political dynamic? Because India and also Uttar Pradesh will vote whether or not it wants to give Mr. Narendra Modi a 2nd term in office. Everything else is rhetoric. Thank you very much, Rashid Kidwai, Smita Prakash, Nasir Hussain, and of course Anila Singh for being with us in this edition of the India Development Debate. We continue with the political dialogue. We put the spotlight to another man. Jay Panda comes in conversation with us. I spoke to him, and he emphatically stated that the contest is now wide open and a 2nd term for Mr. Modi is not inevitable anymore.